The Ministry of Time by Kaliane Bradley is science fiction, romance, thriller, and historical fiction about time travel. How does that work? And does it work? Hi, I'm Amanda, and this is Spineless Books, your one-stop shop for all things audiobook. I picked up The Ministry of Time for a book club, and the first person in the book club to finish the book reported back to everyone that she loved it. Now, I was partway through the book in that moment, and I was enjoying it. I wouldn't say I loved it, but I thought to myself, maybe I'll love this book too. We'll see. There were two narrators, George Weightman and Katie Leung. Now, George Weightman had a very small part in the narration. I would give him maybe 10% of the book, but he did a great job, and for the role that he was playing in the story, he was really sort of exceptional. I thought it was a really, really good casting. Katie Leung was great too. She has what I would kind of describe as a severe British accent, and I don't mean severe in like it's really British. I mean severe in like it's kind of dark and a little grumbly. If you know Adjoa Andoh, who's narrated a number of books, I feel like she reminds me a little bit of her. She's like Adjoa Andoh Jr., kind of gruff and grumbly and a little bit severe and really serious. Like there's nothing light about this narration, even though it has a variety of cadences and tones and inflection. But it's just really, really tough. And you can tell that this is a person who is not used to having a good time the way that she narrates. I think that was related to the character. I don't think it was the only way that this Katie Leung narrates. But given this was my first time with her, I found it pretty impressive. It was a very strong narration. The book centers around two main characters, a man from the 1840s, a commander named Graham Gore, and his bridge. Now, his bridge is the woman from present day who has been assigned to help him assimilate, because this poor guy has just been plucked out of the 1840s and dropped into today. Now, he refers to her affectionately as Little Cat, but we don't really ever get her full name in the story. So these two characters are effectively the main relationship in the book, and there's a lot right there. I mean, that's complicated without any other details, given that one person's from 1840s and the other is from today. Things are generally going well until a few events propel them into complete and utter chaos. Some things happen that turn the book on its head, and I think I probably hadn't reached that point yet when my book club colleague said that she loved it, because once I hit that point, the momentum picked up so aggressively and didn't slow down from that point on. Now, I liked Graham Gore right away. He was a really well-developed character, and I found myself invested in him, especially given his very unusual predicament of having been plucked out of his time and dropped into current time. But the narrator character, the bridge, really to me felt a little bit underdeveloped. Now, I don't actually think that's bad in this case. Usually when you have an underdeveloped character, I'm like, well, this was stupid. But in this case, I felt like having the underdeveloped narrator allowed me to put myself in the shoes of, like, what would I do if I had to help someone from the 1840s adjust to today? So it actually worked in the book's favor, even though I don't know if it was an intentional choice or not. So I found myself liking Graham Gore because I felt like I was the one with him. The book had a really strong arc. Now, it was a slow build for sure, but I really thought that it was successfully executed from beginning to end. There were some beautiful passages in the writing. There were also some really steamy and really sassy bits, like really steamy. But that aside, I was often struck by Kaliane Bradley's writing. She's a really beautiful writer. I'm going to actually read you a passage. It doesn't spoil anything in spite of the fact that it's from the end of the book, but I think it's just stunning, and I've thought about it several times and shared it with several friends ever since I finished the book. Forgiveness, which takes you back to the person you were and lets you reset them. Hope, which exists in a future in which you are new. Forgiveness and hope are miracles. They let you change your life. They are time travel. I mean, wow. I have thought about that line many times since finishing this book. I think it's really powerful. And I think it's powerful because it's true. And I never thought about it like that before, but now that I'm thinking about it that way, wow. Thanks, Kaliane Bradley. You've changed how I think. She does that over and over again in this book. There are moments of beautiful writing buried and threaded through this very complex plot. It's never confusing in spite of its complexity, but to be able to put words like that into a complicated story that is a thriller and a romance and historical fiction and science fiction and all of those things, that's pretty masterful. So would I recommend it? Yeah. Did I end up loving it like my book club friend? I think I did. It really kind of grew on me. It was a little bit of a slow reveal. I finished it and I just kept finding myself thinking about it. And to me, that's the mark of a really good book. When a book just sort of falls away and I can start the next book and this book doesn't come up for me again, then okay. But Ministry of Time has resurfaced for me pretty often since I finished. So what started out as a very slow build was super rewarding in the end, and I'm really glad that I gave it the time that I did because, boy, Kaliane Bradley is a good writer. But remember, you might love what I hate and hate what I love, so make your own opinion, but thanks for listening to mine. I hope you like and subscribe. See you next time.